we're back on Boond Soch ki Tea Talk Train of Thought with a series of an episode with Mrs. Preeti Sharma. She is an executive director with Pragati Software Private Limited and also managing director with Letter Print Publication Private Limited. In our last episode, we have seen her journey from conservative Sikh family from where she had started and she had gone ahead with her qualification for Padar College and then did her MBA. Ma'am, welcome back again to Tea Talk Boond Soch ki life.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
So it's what the value system and the culture which defines a person like. Now, in fact, what is that which attracted you to the field of an entrepreneurship? But before that, we'll go to your NOSIL experience of a couple of years which you had, you were part of a NOSIL life.
Yes. So I completed my MMS and then as part of the placement in college, I got a job in NOSIL. Mm-hmm. So there I was working as a marketing executive. Mm-hmm. And I was taking care of a product called as Teapot. So mm-hmm. Teapot was a liquid cleaner, and as part of that, we had to start the journey as a management trainee and go to the field. Like we had to actually go. It's a fast-moving consumer goods industry. Mm-hmm. So we had to go on the route. For example, the route would be Kurla East or something like that. Mm-hmm. So you go shop by shop and then you take orders along with the stockist and you write down how much teapot to buy. Mm-hmm. So I would actually go and do that. So mm-hmm. that journey took me 5 years in NOSIL. Somewhere I was feeling that NOSIL was a wonderful experience. Mm-hmm. It was a very well run company. My bosses were very, very good mm-hmm. and the people around were excellent. But somewhere I had this feeling that I want to chart out on my own. Mm-hmm. The reason I wanted to chart out on my own, I think, was more because I come from a family where my father had a business and my mother being a teacher in the school. Mm-hmm. So I had to balance both the worlds. And so when I got this opportunity, when I got married to my husband Pradyumna is from an IT background. Mm-hmm. So he's done his MBA from IIM Ahmedabad. Mm-hmm. And then he worked at CMC and then he wanted to start a business on his own. Mm-hmm. And so both of us collaborated and said, why not we do the business of IT? And in that, the education space attracted me because I come from a family of teachers.
But one more thing, ma'am, like in fact, if we talk to today's students, MBA students, like, and since you did BCom in finance and you did your master's in marketing and the first as a management training, like, yeah. If you ask today's students to be a MT and then they go to the market, they say sales ka job mujhe nahi karna hai. So that's a thought process in today's youth, like. So basically, if you don't go to the field and understand the consumers and the retailers, you can't learn more on that.
True. I think we will have to understand that we have to start from the lowest level, and the lowest level is in a fast-moving consumer goods environment. At those years, it used to be the shopkeeper, the stockist, the mega stockist, the wholesaler at those times. Mm-hmm. So unless we go there, unless we interact with them, unless we really understand what is happening at the grassroots level, mm-hmm. It is very difficult to really grow in your career because those learnings will always help you in life. In fact, I remember a very interesting thing. So when I would go to Gujarat and we would go shop to shop and I would be Bain, so say Bain aa jao. Tame su joe, things like that. So every shop I would go, they would order stuff. And then next day morning when the distributor would send those stocks, it would come back returned, Mm-hmm. So then we realized that in Gujarat, they could never say no to a woman, who has come. So out of respect for me, and I was very young, I was 23, I was a very thin, very enthusiastic girl going to the shop and saying, "Ave su jo hai na." So that would make them motivated to block the product. And then next day morning they would simply refuse, because they didn't really need the product. Correct. But that is the power of a person who's starting the career with a lot of intention, with a lot of need to learn, with a lot of passion, which those shopkeepers could see. Mm-hmm. So be ready to work hard and be ready to start from the scratch. Even if you're a marketing person, even if you're in digital marketing, even if you're in sales leadership, you're in any kind of FMCG or any other kind of sales and marketing, very important is to understand the customer. Very important to understand the distribution channel. Very important to understand the thinking why somebody is buying this product. And that can happen only when you go there.
Correct, correct.
You cannot sit here and understand what the customer thinks.
Many times, I think the students who are part of an management training, like, and what they are supposed to do, like, they'll do only that kind of work, like. But the holistic approach comes only if you go deep down and understand the entire trend and the industry. That makes a difference, like.
Yes, I do agree with this observation which you have said. Many times people think only in a very, very narrow frame. But if you see all the research and all the way the world is moving towards machine learning and AI, etc., they say a couple of jobs are actually not going to remain. Yeah. For example, the jobs of accountants putting data entry in Tally is going to go away. I'll tell you how. When we go to the bank statement will directly talk to Tally, and the data will actually integrate between the bank statement and Tally, which ICICI Bank is already doing. So, if we realize that maybe so many of the jobs are going to actually go away, then what remains? What remains is that personality of a person, or that thinking which says, I am ready to learn anything. I am ready to not only be narrow in my field, I am ready to also be broad-based and keep on learning everything which comes this side, that side, front side, back side, whatever.
So that's the thing what we call as an attitude of a person, like, that matters a lot in building up the base more stronger.
Yes.
Oh, fine. So, आपकी एक बूंद सोच की, like, being a part of an NOSIL, like, where you get 9 to 5, you work over there, you get by 30th, you get a pay package as such. But एक बूंद सोच की, being an entrepreneur, कहाँ से शुरू हुई आपकी?
So I said, at that point of time, I thought that if I would be an entrepreneur, I would be able to balance my life better. I would be able to take charge of my life better, because in those years, when I was working in NOSIL, to reach a leadership position would take many years. Correct. Because there was no concept of people leaving jobs. And remember, this was before globalization, etc., which happened in the country. This was 1987. So people would never leave their jobs. People would be in the same job. So
they retire from there after 7 years.
They retire from there. So for you to really reach a position where you would take decisions would take a couple of years. And I thought it would be nice if I could chart my own journey. I could decide at what pace to work. I could decide where I want to move. I could make a difference much more to myself if I was an entrepreneur. In fact, COVID has also taught us again that when people lost so many of the jobs, they felt, it would have been better if they were on their own. So they would know what to do or how to react when such a situation. So I very long ago thought I would be responsible for what happens in my life. I also wanted to take care of my destiny. I also felt that when you are a woman in sales and marketing, there are times when you might not want to, you might want to have a different value system than what is there in that industry.
Now, in fact, नामकरण जिसे कहते हैं, like, once you form a company and Pragati Software Private Limited, तो Pragati नाम कैसे नामकरण हुआ उसका?
Yes. So Pragati was the company where the name is Preeti and Pradyum, so it became Pragati. Most importantly, I'll share with you that when Pradyum and myself were in the early years of our career, a lot of people were moving to US, especially from the IT industry. And we, both of us, took a very conscious decision and we said, no, we will continue to add value to our country, the country where we are born. So we both are very nationalist in thought, and therefore the name Pragati also is a very Indian sounding name, which is a name which says, okay, growth, progress.
Pragati is a growth, progress and all that.
So that all kind of fitted into the way we thought. Our value system was that whatever we can do for our country, or let us do that.
I think no doubt two intellectual minds sitting and discussing together and having a namkaran, and that too I think tossed up as in Pragati Software Private Limited. No doubt, I think there is no reason of looking behind since that. How did you find the gap in the market once you were part of an entrepreneurship drive?
So gap in the marketing means in what way?
As far as your venture which is concerned, you can penetrate and can grow in that particular business like.
Okay, so I think most important was when we started Pragati software. We started Pragati software from our house. Okay, and that house was a rented house. It was not a house we owned. Further, the house was a 1 BHK. So the office would be in the first room, and we would be using it as a house when the office got over. So I think the journey, sometimes it is good to start small also.
And many being part of a no sale and starting a venture, like many a times today in B school we talk in terms of blueprint or having a goal set, like any those kind of a thought which came in your mind of having a blueprint of a career or as an goal setting?
No. To be honest, the blueprint was very simple. We do not have any access to making numbers. We were very young. See, I started the business when I was 25 or 26 years old. I had nobody to guide me. So we didn't have really any great blueprint. We were very clear that whatever we do, we are going to add value to society. We are going to do whatever work we do, we are going to do a good job. We are going to create a very good name, and we are going to experiment with whatever ideas come, and then it will take us some time to figure out. So when we started the business now, honestly, sir, we did not have this much thinking as today people do.
Yeah. But actually, Jyoti, if the purpose is large, if the intents are clear, if you're more focused, then I'm sure like initial stage there you might be directionless, but down the line I think the path opens for you like. Oh, it's an excellent insight to what we're getting from Mrs. Preeti Sharma. She's the Executive Director with Pragati Software Private Limited, also Managing Director with Letterprint Publication Private Limited. As a woman, how she took and plunge into an entrepreneurship drive, leaving an comfort zone, a job with no sale, and taking a plunge as far as the business which is concerned, and also while working in no sale. I think at the grassroots level, she started from the sales, understood the entire ecosystem in FMCG, and now today like handling couple of businesses, that is Pragati Software Private Limited and Letterprint Publication Private Limited. It's an excellent journey of a woman entrepreneur. I'm sure many of them who are watching Mrs. Preeti Sharma on the show of ttalk Boond Soch ki, there's a lot of insights and the inspirations for to one get in, from her story. If you like this particular episode, go to www.ttalk.net, subscribe and like the channel as much as you can. Catch up with Mrs. Preeti Sharma in our next show of ttalk Boond Soch ki. And thanks a lot for being part of the show. Thank you very much.
Thank you.